Impikan is finally out, and as you know, I'm a huge fan of Dolla, so I'm here to finally watch it for the first time, and I'm excited. So let's get to it. Okay, yellow car. You see that? Do you see that, baby? Hyundai. Hear a melody though. Is that the beat? Oh, there's a sub. Okay, I want to say something, but let me watch a little bit more. Okay, I know that they have been criticized. Let me pause. They've been criticized for number one being too sexual, and that they were copying Blackpink. This is actually a clear demonstration on how they're not sexual. They are sexy for sure. These are four of the sexiest women I've ever seen in my entire life. That's for sure. But they're not being sexual. The styling in itself and the makeup, they're trying to. It's not seduction. This is not an outfit for seduction. This is power. It's artistic and powerful and street, but not seduction. The makeup even is, they are being made up to look sophisticated and artistic rather than cute and seductive. I love the beat. I think one of the things that I really, really love about them is how they are able to maintain their identity as Malaysians while they create something obviously international in appeal, global in appeal. The I don't know how to describe it, but I think it's the how they sustain the notes. The notes are longer, and the drum beat or the bass as the bass, the bass as a bass, the drum beat, the percussions as a bass. That's very traditional Malaysian in sound, but the tempo is very global. I hope I'm using the right terminologies. I'm not a musician, so forgive me if I'm not. But yeah, I also love the transition. They're able to create so when they're highlighting as a person, a member in a certain part, they're able to transition to the next member so seamlessly that it doesn't feel like you're being manipulated as an audience as to where you should look. It doesn't feel like they're taking away the choice from you as to where you want to look. So one example would be, let me replay. So this in itself, so you're looking at her, the tallest girl. I love her, by the way. And when she exits the screen, this woman, the girl that's with a purple hair, moves to the other side. So it feels like it's one swift motion instead of you being directed. Look at her. I hope I'm making sense. It's both the function of her moving to the other side and her moving to the other side. So it feels like it's one complete movement. It's a set of movement. And that it feels like it's a natural transition, basically, from her to this girl. Again, instead of you being dictated as an audience as to where to look. Okay. Okay. Another thing is that there's obviously a lot of use of hips. There's a lot of grinding and stuff. But the reason it doesn't look sexual is their facial expression and the power of their movements. It doesn't feel like they're seducing people when they are moving their hips. They look so fierce. They look so powerful. It's very businesslike almost, that you know for sure that what they want is to dominate you, to manage you, to control you rather than seduce you. So I think that's a function of their facial expression and the power of their movements. They are very, very powerful dancers. I'm going to choose one part to demonstrate that. Okay, this is one part. This is one part of the routine that will perfectly demonstrate what I'm saying when I say they are powerful dancers. Let's replay that 1 second. So this part, number one, this is one of the, I think so far, one of the best parts in the routine so far. That because they have, if you see how much they extend their arms, there's a lot of arm movement in that routine, in that part of the routine. They are fully extending their arms, and there's a snap at the end of their movements. So that's power, that's not seduction. Seduction would be when it's swift and it's slow and stuff, but that's powerful. And then they made very good use. It's just so amazing how they managed to stay in place. They stayed in place for quite a while, but it doesn't feel like they're stagnant because of the different shapes that they formed. Sorry, I have to put him down. The different shapes that they formed, the levels that they used, and the variation of the arm movements. Okay, let's do that one more time, just so I could explain it better. Okay. Okay, so that so they're staying in place. You see, they haven't changed. This is the formation when this segment of the choreography changed. But from here, so that's extension and contraction. Okay, and then there's that shape, the change in shape. As you can see, there's it seems like there's a V line almost. And almost like a star, actually, if you see their formation. There's so much theatrics. Okay, there's extension and contraction twice. And then they are folding. So it's so fast that it doesn't feel like they're stagnant. She's so, the tallest girl is just so there's so much power. Oh. I love this part. Okay, so let me just finish this segment and I'm going to explain how she's, okay. So the tallest girl, this segment, her solo actually has the potential to become very sexual. But because her facial expression is almost like anger, but it's actually just power, like dominance. So it feels very powerful rather than very seductive or very sexual, even though her movements, the movements of her body, is very sexy. There's a lot of hip movements. And then there's this part, this entire segment. See how they're spreading their legs. They pop their butt a lot. But again, it doesn't feel sexual. I think it has a lot to do, again, with the styling, number one. Number two, their facial expression and the power of their movements. They are making, I think, I don't know for sure, but I think they're making a conscious effort to really put that strength and power in each step. So it feels like I think this, I only feel, well, Beyonce is one of them. When she walks, you can feel the impact of her when her foot touches the floor. It's the same thing for them. You can feel just how hard they're stomping, just how hard they're extending their bodies and how they're snapping their limbs and stuff. And that's why I just love this entire routine. One second, let me go back to the when they began. So it just hurt. It's just this part, that head movement, this part. That's I think it's very, because I've seen some. I'm not Malaysian, so if there are Malaysians out there and you think I'm inaccurate, or you know that I'm inaccurate, feel free to correct me. But I've seen some Malaysian dance moves, and this I've seen, at least some form of this I've seen in their traditional dances, but they were able to modernize it. So it feels like an Amazon woman. Yeah, it feels like I'm watching the queens of nature, queens of the jungle, rather than a seductive goddess. By the way, the lyrics are just as powerful as the dance moves. It's them telling everybody, I don't care about your criticism, about what you say, just watch me, I'm going to do it. Love that. Love that. This part I love. I love that. It feels like whoever choreographed this move, when they were, this routine, when they were choreographing it, when they were doing it, they were just creating something. They were just creating a dance routine rather than a dance routine for women, if I'm making sense. There's not a lot of cute movements, soft movements. There's just power. It's just about being able to, nice, that transition is nice. It's just being able, it's just about communicating the message of the song through the moves. This is also very Malaysian to me. I don't know why. Yeah, this part I love. See her, when her expression is all about power, she's having fun, nothing about seduction. So all of those people saying that they're very sexual, no. They're sexy, all right, but this is just art. I love the headdress. I want that. Go. Love that high note. There's also the production itself, the set, the production value itself. It's very, wow. It's great. I think that's worth repeating, huh? Don't you think? This part. I love it. The girl in the pleated dress, even though she's dressed up like a schoolgirl, she doesn't walk like it and she doesn't feel like it. There's also, I think I also need to mention the production value. It's so minimalistic. There's not a lot of set. There's not a lot of things in there that will distract you from the four girls that are singing. So as an audience, you're able to concentrate on just the four and what they're doing. They made very good use of the lights so that it complements the dress, the clothes that they're wearing. It complements the mood. It allows you to shift your focus from one member to another. The beat it feels like you're being hurried. That's how it feels like. That's how the song feels like, and it's very much like a rah kind of thing, like a cheer. Like a battle cry, and it complements the message of the song. So all in all, this is way better than their first one, which is a good thing because they are supposed to improve. Artists are supposed to improve, or at least evolve from one art to another. And I really can't wait to. I want to know who actually wrote the song and who choreographed the dance. Oh, the other thing is there's also unmistakable emphasis. A lot of bass were used in the song, which is not common to girl group songs, because a bass actually sounds very masculine, but they used a lot of it. That's actually the consistent sound, the consistent instrument that was used. Again, it's very consistent with what the song is trying to say. I can't wait for their full album. I can't wait for their next single, and I also can't wait to see this as in them see them perform this live. I've seen them perform the other song live, "Make You Wanna," and they're great. Great. So I can't wait to see them live, because this is a heavier dance, faster, much more difficult to do live. So I'm interested to see it and watch them live. That's it.